Hello everyone, Brickwaffle here, and today I'm hoping to explain water and lava in Minecraft. I know that can be confusing when you first get started. Water doesn't behave in a way that I would consider to be intuitive, so what I'm hopefully going to do today is explain a little bit about how water and lava flow, what you can do with them, and how they really work in Minecraft. So you'll see I have a grid pattern here on the floor. This is only really to illustrate how far water flows. You can get a pretty good representation that way. You'll notice I also have some signs up here that show source block and some numbered signs, and that's because when water flows horizontally, it always goes out 7 blocks from the source. If you count the source, it's 8 blocks, but if I place this water down here, you'll see that it moves out 7 blocks in every direction. Walls obviously stop that, so here you have this nice little pattern, and it stops right at the edge. Well, that makes some degree of sense. So what happens when water falls over an edge? Well, as you can see in this example, the falling square does not count against the horizontal distance. You always measure 7 blocks from the lowest point. So if I place a block here, a block of water, it's going to flow down 1, and then that counts as the source block, even though it's not source water, and still goes out 7 in both directions. So that's a little bit counterintuitive, but it does make sense if you consider that every time it hits ground level, it's going to go out 7, anytime it's going horizontally. It doesn't matter how far it's already flowed before you do that. So if I put my source up here and it goes 1, 2 blocks and then falls, you'll see that we count this block where it starts to fall, and then it still goes out 7 squares. Now one thing you'll notice here is this pattern, it only goes 6 that way. That's because the first block is actually that direction, left or right 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no matter which direction it starts, it's always going to go out 7 from there. Hopefully that helps explain a little bit about water. Now I'm also going to show you that this does work with lava just as well. So let me grab these water buckets back up. The only difference here is that lava flows a lot more slowly in the overworld. But you can see here, if I put lava down, before I start a fire with all the wool I've used here, you'll see that lava does in fact flow out a lot less. It only flows out 3 from the source. Same thing over here. If I put it down, it's going to drop 1. And flow out 3 from the source, or from the falling area. Now the nether, that might go a little bit further. You'll see that things work a little bit differently there, and you can't place water down at all on the nether. But here, you can see that it would normally only go 3 blocks. That third block is a fall. And then it's going to go out 3 blocks again. So that works with any kind of fluid. Water goes out 7, lava goes out 3. I'm going to grab these back up and move on to the next demonstration. So the obvious question here is, what if you don't want your water or your lava to go that far? Maybe you only want it to go part of that distance because you've got something else you want to build. There's a variety of things you might use to stop your fluids from moving. This does work with water and lava. It doesn't really matter, but signs do stop fluids. Pressure plates also stop them. You see that? Water stops at a fence gate, stops at a door, whether it's open or closed. Doesn't really matter. Same thing with trapdoors. Same thing with ladders. It does work on blocks like pumpkins, melons, and jack-o'-lanterns. It does stop on slabs. Here's an interesting one though, vines. Doesn't matter. You may have seen that it actually just did that with the cobwebs as well, but just in case you missed that, put those cobwebs back, and it will wipe out those cobwebs. And again, you may have seen that with the snow here at the end already, but if I place actual snow layers rather than a snow block, even if it fills up the whole block, as soon as you put down water, it washes it away. So don't try to use any of those to stop your water. Another important thing to know about fluids is that you can create an infinite source of water, but this does not work with lava. As long as you've got 3 in a row here like this, I can take water out of the middle and it will just keep replacing it as many times as I take it out. This is a great tip for beginners if you're trying to get farmland somewhere. You can bring back 3 buckets of water that way, and then you can always have infinite water from there for the rest of your farming or whatever other hydration projects you need. Now with lava source blocks, once they're taken, they go away. They do not automatically recreate when they flow into each other, so you cannot do this trick with lava. Fountains are another popular feature in Minecraft. Obviously you can pour water on the top, and this demonstrates 2 things. One, it does not matter how much water is coming over the side here. 1 block with a wall on either side will stop water. You could have a fall of 50 blocks, 1 block, however here in 3, we have 3 in this case. Once it hits this bottom level and hits a wall, it stops. What's probably not obvious if you're new to Minecraft is that if you take out these blocks, the original source block hovers. does not matter anymore. And that's how you get some of those fountains you see in some popular builds. Now if I take that source block away and I build this fountain again, the other interesting thing that you'll see is that if I put water here and then I interrupt that flow for some reason, let me make a little bit of an area here. If I put a block here and cause it to flow out, same thing happens if I take this block away. Any blocks that were created from the original source when they're falling, those are never subject to gravity again. So you can make some very interesting and strange fountain designs that way. That does work with lava too to some extent. Once that water goes away, I'll show you. Have lava go over the sides. Take those blocks away in the middle. It's still going to stay there. Same thing happens. So we'll leave our little lava fountain for now and move on to the next thing. One of the interesting things in Minecraft is how water and lava interact. So if you have source blocks of lava, nice still blocks here that aren't flowing, and you put water over them, it's going to turn that into obsidian. I'm sure that a lot of you have discovered this accidentally. If you've been caving or in a ravine, you had a bucket of water. It can turn off the light really quickly. It can also be an easy way to mine obsidian for another portal. Making stone is another option. In this case, I've got a dispenser with lava. So what happens if flow lava interacts with flow water is you get a stone block. It doesn't matter how high you do that. If you've got a bunch of flow water and a bunch of flow lava, they're going to turn that water block into stone. If you do it the opposite way and you put water over lava, you'll see that those flow blocks of lava became cobblestone, and the source block of lava still became obsidian. So you can use these in generators to infinitely mine a source of this if you have your lava source far enough away that the water won't extinguish it, or if you have some block preventing it from getting there. Another interesting feature of water is its blast resistance. If I were to set this TNT off in anywhere else without this water, you'll see that it would cause a tremendous amount of damage. But if I do that in water, the water absorbs the blast damage entirely. You can see there's no damage to the structure. Even the wool underneath it is perfectly safe. It's a pretty handy trick. And it's also the basic premise for how people make TNT cannons in Minecraft. Water breaks are another nice feature. If you're going down to a layer of your mine that's pretty deep and you want to have a quick way to jump down, you can stop right before the bottom, put your ladder block in to catch your fall, and hold up the water. And no matter how far I fall, if I fall through this water block, my fall damage is going to be recalculated as though that were my initial fall height. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to turn game mode to survival, and we'll see what happens. You can see that I took absolutely no damage falling through that. So that's a pretty handy trick as well. And of course, because you can swim up through water, if you had a ladder on the other side of this, you could climb right back up and continue your mining. Go back up to your base, whatever you wanted to do. An interesting trick with water is the way that it interacts with other flowing water. So in this case, you'll see that we have stairs and signs to keep the water away. But when flow water interacts with another flow block, you see that it's flowing at least 2 squares here, and then it hits another block that's falling down, they flow into each other. And you can use this to actually push people around up the stairs without doing anything. I'm not touching the keyboard right now. I'm just letting the water push me around. You can use this to transport yourself, to transport villagers, animals, whatever else you like. It's a pretty easy way to drop people where you want them. The last property of water is what happens when you drop an item into water to move it along. And you'll see that the front row here is just more wool blocks, any standard block. But on this side we have packed ice. So any items that touch water flowing over packed ice move quite a bit faster than they would otherwise. So you can see when I step on this pressure plate, that's a pretty dramatic speed difference. This one's still putting along. So if you're using a water stream to collect items and maybe move them into a hopper, putting ice or packed ice underneath it is a pretty quick way to speed that process up. The other advantage to packed ice is it does not melt. So you can use this even with torches, lighting up your machine, glowstone, anything else that would normally melt ice. Doesn't have any effect there. So hopefully this answers some of your questions about water and lava in Minecraft. If you have any other questions or would like to see me explain more Minecraft concepts, please let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like or a favor. That really helps motivate me to do more videos. And if you really enjoyed this, please subscribe, and I'm going to continue to do more of these based on what you guys tell me you want me to do. I've been Brickwaffle, and thank you for watching.